I'm going to be doing the Booktubeathon for the first time ever this year, and I am so excited. If you are one of those unfortunate souls who haven't heard of the Booktubeathon before, it is a yearly readathon hosted by Ariel Bissett, who is one of the matron queens of Booktube. So she chooses 7 prompts every year for you to try and complete, and we all just have a grand old time reading and chatting about it, either on YouTube or on Twitter. Everyone that I know who has done it before tells me that it is just an absolute blast and that it's going to be very, very enjoyable. So you should absolutely do it. So let's just tell you what I am reading. So prompt number 1 for the Booktube readathon was to read a book with a person on the cover. So the book that I chose for this particular prompt was The Good Negress. So this is a coming of age story for a young black teenager named Denise Palms, set in the 1960s. Denise Palms believes that there's nothing much more for her in life than cooking and cleaning and helping look after her mother's other children, until one of her high school teachers sees promise in her and starts to try and convince her to see beyond her current horizons and dream a little bigger and start to question the limits that life has put around her. So I'm really excited to read this. I think it sounds really, really good, and also it has a person on the cover. So the second prompt for the Booktubeathon was to read a hyped book. So the book that I've chosen for this particular prompt is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This book became a movie earlier this year, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it as a really, really impressive, heart-wrenching and creative book. So I'm really excited to read this, which might be a bit worrying because we all know what happens when a book gets overhyped. It often ends up not reaching that hype. So this, as far as I can tell, is the story about a young boy whose mother is undergoing treatment. I'm not sure whether it's a mental illness or some other kind of illness, but his mother started undergoing treatment and he has nightmares where monsters visit him. And one night he's expecting the same monsters to come into his nightmares, but he is visited by a different monster, and I honestly don't know much more beyond that. The third challenge is to read a book in one day, and for that I have chosen A Room of One's Own. This was the book that I chose to continue with after doing the try a chapter tag. So my plan is to start again from the start, because I literally only read like 3 pages, and get that read in a day. Challenge number 4 is to read a book about a character that is very different to you. For this prompt I have chosen The Good Negress again, because I'm using this book to cover multiple prompts. Like I said, this is the story about a young black teenager living in America in the 1960s. The only thing we have in common is that we are female, and that I was a teenager once. Or was I? So prompt number 5 is to read a book entirely outdoors. Now this prompt has received a lot of hate, I think, from people who are participating in Booktubeathon, and that makes me really sad because this is like the most unique prompt I have ever seen in a readathon yet. I think it is really lovely, and I think it is an excellent reminder to take some time out of your life to sit outdoors and just relax and enjoy the world around you. So for this prompt I have chosen A Room of One's Own. Again, this is also the book that I planned to read in one day, and I've chosen this book for both of those prompts because I think it will be a really good thing for me to take some time out of my crazy, awful, horrifically stressful, busy life right now, sit outside and just spend some time away from technology and computers, spend some time away from to-do lists, and just read. Prompt number 6 is to read a book that you bought because of the cover, and I nearly chose The Good Negress for this again, but then I was like, maybe it's time for me to choose some different books as well. So instead I have chosen The Alchemist. It's so pretty. Look, it's so pretty, and the paper just feels so nice. It's just, oh. I think it's supposed to be a quest novel. A little Spanish boy leaves his hometown in Spain. Oh, something in my eye. Something really in my eye. And travels to Egypt to try and find a treasure that is buried somewhere near the pyramids. I think it's supposed to be one of those books where the main theme is kind of like the treasure, the real treasure was not actually... Oh my god. This is kind of what I picture this book being like. And prompt number 7 is to read 7 books, which I'm not doing because I can't read 7 books in a week. I'm not even gonna try. I'm sorry, it's such a cop-out. So I've chosen these books instead. Seeing as I basically am lucky to read more than 1 book a month, 4 books in a week is a terrifying goal to be setting for myself. So yeah, all in all, I am extremely, extremely excited to be doing this. So if you are doing Booktubeathon, let me know what your TBRs are. I'm so excited to find out what books other people are reading. I will see you in some other video very shortly, I am sure, and until then, as always, stay classic.
Sit there and count your fingers.